Okay, so we are going to focus specifically today on the convention contest. And I wanted to share with you when I first got started. I think it was at the leaders retreat time. So I saw on my upline, Suzanne Clinton, she was posting shout outs for people that maybe had earned leaders retreat, pictures from previous leaders retreats. I saw them, but I had I was not putting myself in that place. I wasn't looking at it like, oh, that's something I could earn. Instead, I was looking at it as, oh, that was nice that they got to do that. It was not on my radar. It wasn't something I was making personal for myself. But she and I had a call scheduled and we got on and she goes, so what would you like to earn for the leaders retreat contest? And I said, I don't actually even really know what that is. She's like, are you kidding? She's like, you 100% can earn it. I thought, well, I don't know about that. She's like, no, for sure you can. She goes, here's what you're basically, she gave me like a plan. Here's what we're going to do. And suddenly I thought, well, if she thinks I can do it, at least I'll do my part. And so I just started working towards it and I did earn it. And I actually think I might have earned the top prize. And what's really special about that example to me is that what we said before, we might see something on a team page, we might post something, we might put something in a chat, and we think, well, I gave them the information. Like they know that this certain thing is happening, but it doesn't become personal for them. They might think it's for everybody else. Oh, that's for the people that are like really doing well. Like I'm just over here like selling every so often an X Factor kids, but that's not for me. And that's just not true. So I want to make sure today we focus on being very intentional with talking with our people about conventions. So Leslie, I asked if anybody wanted to share or could share about a special convention memory. I want to make sure that you guys know that this really does become the seasoning to your business, these events. So Leslie, tell us your convention memory.
Well, my first convention, I guess, was 2018. And I I kind of thought it was a lot of rah-rah and it was interesting. I loved John Maxwell and was very impressed that he could come to this. I also saw some friends of ours that we'd lost track with who were also doing this. And he was actually the pilot for then time President Obama's jet. He was and it's like, okay, so this adds a layer of credibility to what I'm seeing here and what I'm experiencing. But the most moving time, I think it was Erin Bush at the very end. She got up and she shared her personal testimony. She was a diamond. I don't know how long she'd been a diamond, if she was a new diamond or what, but she shared about her praying in the bath. I still remember it. Her praying on the bathroom floor about how horrible she felt and how this was not the life that she wanted her kids to partake in. And she needed some answers. And then somehow Plexus stepped into her life and she just grabbed hold of it as a source of help and healing. And then she ended it by giving all the glory to God, and in such a moving way and such a heartfelt way that everybody had tears. And you can find it probably on YouTube, but that was so impressive.
I remember that when it felt like the whole arena was just, you could have heard a pin drop and then
It just
everybody.
stopped. Yeah,
Yeah.
just stopped.
Because we hear stories a lot and we can hear them at different opportunity meetings. We can do testimony events, but there was something even more powerful about this particular story because it was the cry of her heart. So let's talk about that. I love that Leslie shared that she saw someone at the convention that she considered to be like a professional, like kind of a big deal. And it gave so much credibility to see them at a Plexus event. So I want you guys to think about that. Getting people to convention will really show them that this is not just like, I always think of it as what my girlfriend's husband said this to me. He goes, okay, so I didn't realize what a big deal this was. Like, I thought y'all were in the back room mixing up some pink powder and selling it. like out of your house. Like he just did not comprehend. So this will lend credibility, and also getting to hear those really powerful testimonies. Go on YouTube, you guys, at some point and look up Erin, Erin, Erin Bush's testimony, Plexus Convention. You'll love it. It's so good. Tabitha, will you share? Thank you, Leslie, by the way. Will you share your convention memory, Tabitha?
Yes. So when I started working Plexus, it was September of 2019. And it was that year in October that was Leaders Retreat. And that's when they mentioned the convention contest. And then in March, everything closed off because of COVID. So my most vivid memory of anyone being together was me watching my upline be able to enjoy being spoiled by Plexus, but then I never experienced that until years later. Obviously, this last year was my first Leaders Retreat in March was my first actual retreat hosted by Plexus. And then I did Gold School this year, and then I did convention last year. And so there was a lot of actually experiencing the way that Plexus spoils people last year, but I always had that memory of, oh, this is something that I would be able to look forward to do. And this year I went to convention with 11 people on my team. And that is huge. As a senior Ruby, I was a third of my Diamonds team that was actually present at convention. And that made me feel really good about the buy-in that I have with my team, but then just hearing from people who I have been able to get to know and have taken the time to get to know me over the last 3.5 years, them recognizing me at convention and standing there and talking to me and being willing to take a picture and not just running off to their next team or something like that. And honestly, I believe it's because of little small retreats that Plexus leaders put, because I met Jen Leith actually in March, that same weekend that COVID was that same weekend things were closing down. We didn't even know if we were going to get home. And Jen was present there, as well as Laura and Donnelly Robinson. And just those in-person things of Jen, I went gold in 7 weeks. So Jen had sent me these cute little pink earrings, and she's like, I see you and I know you're going to get somewhere. And then she talked to me as a human and has been praying for me this entire time. And it's well, I've never really had Jen on this huge pedestal. Sometimes we put leaders on pedestals, and then we get to these types of events and we meet them in person. It's they're just real people. They struggled. And if we listen to their stories more, then we're going to recognize that once we get to Diamond, it's not necessarily going to change who we were as a human fundamentally, but all of the lessons that we've learned along the way to be able to establish this wonderful career. And so for me, convention this last year, I think the biggest thing was just meeting people in person and seeing they do recognize my face. They do remember that we chatted on Facebook Messenger, and that the big people up there aren't really big people up there. They've just worked really hard to create the success in this community and want the same for us. And so that's what I'm hoping this next year, that going to convention, I have completely doubled my team, and we're going to get 22 people at convention this year, just from a senior Ruby team down. Well, I'm going to be Emerald by then, but
yeah,
that's my ticket.
Okay, guys, everybody was kind of freaking out in the chat. They're 11 people. That's amazing. And that's the thing. Have you directly asked? Have you gone and done the ask? Because you're asking a lot, right? You're asking for them to have to get a plane ticket or get some sort of travel arrangements. You're asking for them to have to spend money on food and lodging. But when you can use that to cast vision for them and say, but here's the fun part, I'm going to help you get all the money that you need for this through the contest. I'm going to help you earn what you're going to need to pay for your hotel and all of that. Tabitha, that's amazing. And I also
can I share one more thing?
Yeah.
They were giving away a lot of the swag that they had last year. So these lanyards are from Plexus Convention 2022, and they gave away it was the lanyard that we had with our name tags. So Brooke, my Ruby downline, she was like, we can put this in Vision Cast for our team. I just found them in my storage, and I'm going to start sending it out to my level 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s this week, sending it out to them. Are you going? And then anyone who joins, I'd love to be able to see you at convention if they're serious about the business. And I'm going to make up a little flyer in here, with their name and a little note to them, and just Vision Cast for Nashville. And bring them on that way.
Okay, so you're like becoming my hero right now. It's super inspiring. And guys, who cares if they're interested in the business? They might not be until they get there. And that's just the truth of the matter. I can't even tell you how many people, I mean, why do you think when people earn special events or galas or trips, they bring their dream teamer with them, and their dream teamer maybe has a little idea of what's going on, but they're just sitting there and they know what we're trying to do is show them this is a really good opportunity, and I believe that you can do it. And I want to say this before I ask Kim to share, and then we're going to get busy. I've got some graphics that show us some possibilities for how to earn certain prizes for convention contests. So I want to mention this though about COVID. When our company exploded after COVID started, that makes sense, right? Because we know when the economy starts to feel uncertain for people, our industry actually explodes. Our businesses grow. Here's the hard part. We were bringing in people at an astronomical rate, truly like an exponential rate, but we have nowhere to put them for an in-person event. And so for 2 years, they experienced Plexus from a screen, and that is just not enough. Getting in person, having in-person events, doing them in your own hometown, even if it's just 3 people, and then next week it's 5, having that in-person part is probably the most important secret sauce there is. And that's why I'm going to tell you guys, do not underestimate the power of the convention contest and getting people to convention. Kim, what were you going to share with us about your convention memory?
So mine's similar, but also different. One of the things that stood out to me was my first convention, there were like 12,000 people there, which that in and of itself lended some credibility, because I was super skeptical about this whole business model thing. I just didn't think this was real. Then when you look around and see, oh, there are 12,000 people that are believing in this, or maybe they weren't, but they were there. So I thought they were believing in it. I just sat and looked around and I was like, okay, this is legit because there's all these people here. And we were at the MGM Grand, who hosts everybody. All the big names go to the MGM Grand, and everywhere we went, all of the MGM employees said, you Plexus people are the nicest people ever. You Plexus people are the best people we've ever hosted. And I was like, dang straight we are. Now I'm a Plexus person. and so I just was so impacted. And then when Les Brown, that wasn't my first one, I don't think, but when Les Brown came out and he prayed over our leaders, he brought Alec and Tarl on stage, he put his hands on them, prayed over them, and those 12,000 people extended their hands and prayed over our company. And I was like, this doesn't happen in corporate America. I'm in love.
All of the belief. I love that so much. It's just, I don't think I can say it enough. I hope you guys are getting the gist that this is something we need to be willing to ask everyone to come to. And I'm telling you now, when I went to my first convention, my team exploded because people started messaging me like crazy saying, okay, what, where are you? Like I've even had them say, when I saw that you were there, then I knew how serious it was. And I'm like, okay, I'm starting to get the gist of why this is so important. So I want you guys to make it important. Here's the beauty of it. The way that the convention contest is set up makes it very easy for a system of duplication. Sarah, did you want to share anything about your convention experiences? I still have your blue dress. I can't help it. A blue dress story.
Yeah, I'll have to find that. So 2 things. The first thing is I love that I have the perspective that I've been to every single one, and that the first one had 254 people. We were just like a side meeting room for our big ballroom. And I remember thinking to myself, what do you even wear to a convention? Like, I didn't even know what it was. I couldn't wrap my brain around it. And interestingly enough, Victor Antonio was one of our breakout session trainers, which I think is amazing that he is now, you know, a face of Plexus with being an MC for all of that. But just watching the growth, you know, year after year after year after year has been absolutely incredible. But here's what I want you guys to think about too. It's like, absolutely, I would never consider not going. Like it's a work trip. It's a must get there, to the point that Hudson's World Series yet again conflicts. And you better believe I am figuring out dates and flights for which games I'm going to make when I'm going to catch my flight and how I can get to convention like as soon as possible, because it's just, I mean, you have to be there. And so I think going is really important for all those reasons. It builds belief. You walk in and you're like, wow, how could I not be setting goals in this company? But then also the people they bring us, which by the way, if you missed Saturday's book club, what Plexus does to invest in us and what we get for these opportunities, like these are names of people who I know they're paying thousands of dollars to pour into us. So the stage, like you guys said, John Maxwell, Les Brown, Mel Robbins, Bob Hiley, like we are getting all of these people in front of us, and it will take your business to the next level if you show up. So I will be there. I will be there coming straight from baseball, probably missing the championship bracket, but it just is what it is. And it's one of those things I feel like I need to be there personally and for my team. So never miss a convention.
Yeah, never miss a convention. I'm going to show you guys some slides here. Let me grab this to share the screen really quick. Jen Hawkins made this slideshow for, I don't know, maybe she didn't, maybe Plexus did, but this is what she used to show us when we did our training for Super Saturday. And so I just want to talk you through it here really quick. Also, anybody that finds that it's hard if they're talking to people and they're giving objections for dates or like, oh, it's Father's Day or, oh, it's my son's birthday. You don't want to overstep bounds, but you also want to be able to vision cast for them. And it might take a little bit of time to have that conversation with them, but it really is worth getting there. And I'm sorry, but if you went to go see John Maxwell do some type of event, I think you pay $100 for a ticket to go. And you're paying for convention, you're getting all the speakers, all the things, like it is really worth the investment. So when we're looking at this contest, here's how it's going to work. You are going to get credits that build up January, February, March, and April. How do you get the credits? Well, one of the ways is by earning the monthly prizes that Plexus is going to put out. So this month it's boots. Next month it may be, I don't know what it is, but I'm just going to make it up. It might be all natural deodorant maker. And so you're going to go to all your people and say, how would you like a free all natural deodorant maker? I don't even know if there is such a thing. But the point is, we're going to have conversations with people each month, telling them what it is that they could earn. So that's going to get us credits. If we earn it, if they earn it, you're also going to be getting credits for every new person that's brought into your organization on your levels 1 through 4. So let me show you this really quick. She kind of broke it down. I'm going to take you to how to earn it. Let me look at this. And I can share this slide deck with you, but here's one of the ways that she had it broken down. For 1,000 credits. Remind me, is Winter's Dinner 1,200? Okay, yeah, it's 1,200 credits for Winter's Dinner. She said, I can get you to 1,000 credits just by doing this. So let's look at this and then let's go ahead and start working by having conversations with people. So she said, each month, if you will add 3 people personally, so if I go and get 3 people every month of the contest, I'm going to end up earning 100 credits in a month's time because I'm going to get 20 credits for each new person. Plus I'm going to get 40 credits for having earned the prize because you get a prize when you get 3 people. Then if I use that same method by going to my level 1s, these people that I've had join, and I have them earn the prize or add their 3 people, earn the prize. So looks like she just had 2 of those new level 1s that came in. Of course, it could have been an existing level 1, but let's just say you tell your new people and 2 of them take you up on it. So now you end up having that many extra credits each month of the contest, 75 each month. If you can replicate the same idea, getting 2 people to go and earn the prize, do the same thing on your next level. Then make sure you take a picture of this for now. You'll end up at about the 1,000 credit mark. So you're really only 200 credits away from Winter's Dinner. And I don't know if you saw that, but it's at the Wild Horse Saloon. That's a really big deal. Like that's a really big deal. And all the pictures that will come from that, it's huge. So this is just one way. And then she also had, okay, here's what you can earn. But here's another way to get closer to the gala. This is getting you to 2,000 credits. Let me look at this. You need, let's see, 3,000 for the gala. So she got you to the 2,000 credits doing this. So if you will add 6 people, so she has you adding Is that right? Let me look at this. You're adding 3. I may have to study this a little bit more. Let me look at this one a little bit more, unless you think you can explain it, Sarah, because I'm trying to make sure I understand it. Oh, it is adding 6 in a month. And then you're getting double credits for having earned basically 2 prizes. And then she has 3 of them go and do the same thing by adding 3 and earning the prizes. But I want, basically looking at this, I'm going to stop sharing here really quick. All I want you to get from that is the system of duplication that comes by all you're doing is getting people to earn the prize. And then the rest of that starts taking care of itself. And then having them tell their people that join, do you want to earn the boots too? And this is what we're focusing on. It's like the first time we've had monthly incentives align with the convention contest. So if you can get into your system of duplication, stay connected to a system. Don't say, well, I'm not going to tell them because they just wanted to order the E's or whatever. Yes, you are. You're going to tell them, because this is where we start to see momentum grow. I'm going to get in conversation right now with people to tell them about the boots. I'm going to talk to them about the convention contest. Any leaders, I'm going to have conversations about setting those specific goals. If you want to get creative and come up with a plan for how you think you can earn your credits and what you think is doable or feasible for you, then do that. Sarah has some graphics she can share too in the chat that has you adding 6 people in a month and what that can do for you earning. So if you feel like you can go for 6 people in a month, hey, go for it. I can send those other slides as well. So focus on convention. Here we go.
Okay, guys, as we're wrapping up, I think I've said this a few times. I know I said it on Thursday. If you guys are not keeping notebooks of who you're talking to, what you're saying, where in the relationship you are, that's absolutely vital. So new people who you haven't talked to about Pivotal yet or convention yet, new people who don't know what convention is and you just messaged them. All of those things are super important. Prospects that you want to talk about, jumping on board. Super Saturday codes. Who's used their Super Saturday codes and share a cart, right? Good job. I see Steph says she's used 2 of them. Wonderful. How many of you find that having a reason to reach out to someone makes it easier, right? When you say I have a code or, something to offer because you feel like you're giving them something. Good job, Tina. Awesome. I know, I'm thinking about that too. I missed registering. I should have registered all 3 of my positions and then I would have had 9 codes. I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, we were going to do our Meet Plexus event tonight, which we wanted to give that you guys an opportunity to have something to invite to. Unfortunately, just how things happen, it just is what it is. We both have something outside of our control and we are not able to host that Zoom, but I want to let this guys be something for you, where you can pivot and focus on what you can control. So I would like to challenge / empower each and every one of you. If you had somebody that was interested in attending an event, I would love for you to throw together like a quick 15-minute messenger event, and I can share a few boards that I have pulled that actually have all the content for you. Each post you can just edit as you need to. But even if it's just you and a new level 1 and 3 to 5 of their friends that commented on their first post, right? You can put that together and use that opportunity to have something to invite to. And that maybe will pull the Band-Aid off. Maybe you've never hosted one by yourself, right? Maybe you've always waited for somebody to host one for you to just be able to jump in and throw your people in with you. I would love to know just in the last minute or two, who has done a successful messenger event? And if you have like any thoughts, were you like terrified to do your first one? My heart always beats a little bit faster, but maybe you've done it, it was super successful. And if you don't want to comment, you can drop it in the chat. It's okay. Drop a 1 if you've never personally hosted your own messenger event for new level 1s and or prospects. Okay, very good. Tina, correct. It's never good to just drop people into an event on Messenger, especially when it's going to be like fast and furious with all of the posts. That can get a little bit crazy and people might be like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But to be able to personally invite and just say, hey, we're doing a quick, fun, informational event about Plexus. I know you've had some questions in the past and you didn't have a chance to order. Can I invite you and you can check it out tonight? And so I think that's something that's really, really good because I have had times, I had a gal 2 years ago that went Dumble ranked senior gold ruby with 2 posts and putting everybody in a messenger event. She was like, I've got 20 people all asking the same question. Help, what do we do? And we put them all in a messenger event. And then we were able to give them all the information and answer all of their questions. And then everybody else was like, oh, wait, there's a lot of people asking really good questions. I'm really excited. I don't want to miss out. And it kind of creates that fear of missing out. So I want to challenge you guys. Sometimes doing it quickly with no notice is better. So putting one together now for tonight might be one of those things. Okay, awesome. I can jump on for 15 minutes. The good thing about a messenger event is people can jump in later if they're not able to attend right when you're making the posts. And then you can use that as a follow-up strategy as well. So I will go to my boards app and grab a few of those messenger events that I have pulled from amazing other leaders who have shared to give you guys some ideas for some content for what you guys can do. Yes, messenger events would have been great. So I always did them as groups. I would put people in groups and then we would do posts to make. Yes, you go to Facebook and then you go to Messenger, and like usually you're just chatting with one person. There's at the very top, it says create group. You can add 2 or 3 of your either friends or team members who are going to be helping you out. And then you guys can add to that. And it just all stays within a chat, which is super wonderful. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for jumping on. I cannot believe it's the 3rd week of January already. And I love that we're getting so much accomplished and done, moving things forward. We have already had as many people join our team this month as the entire month of December, and we still have a whole nother, however many days left in this month. So I'm super excited. And yes, they just read the posts and vote on polls and stuff like that and say they have questions. So awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you, Jennifer.